Hello everybody. I'm really sorry to the group that was supposed to go first today. I have a meeting that I have to leave for in like 15 minutes, so we're going to try and keep it short. My name is Dave Vanderzee. This is Joe Eduardo and Christian Toole. Joe and I are programming this game and Christian's doing the art. The game is called My Dad the Farmer. It is a 3D first-person game made in Unity 4.2. It's open source, coded in C#. The goal is to make it an all-encompassing farm game to help teach people like the struggle of farming, and because most of that's lost today, I know Farmville doesn't help. So in the game, main idea is to raise crops and livestock, farm hard to make money so that you can farm hard. The plot of the game is pretty interesting. So your dad was a farmer, your dad's dad was a farmer, everyone in your family has been a farmer. And then you get a visit from your son from his mom's house up to your farm, and he says, Dad, I don't want to be a farmer. I want to go to college and learn computer science. So you're torn inside, but you love your son, so you reluctantly agree to work as hard as you can for the next 2 years to put your son through college. So the goal of the game is to raise $100,000 in 2 years. Throughout the game, you work yourself almost to death, and there's subtle growing depression, overworking, and alcoholism throughout the game. If you win the game, you make $100,000 in 2 years. Your son gets the money and is able to go to college, but you have effectively worked yourself to death, and you're not able to live any longer, and you die. Sorry to everyone. Your son comes to the funeral and, overcome with grief, decides to take the $100,000 and revamp the farm and not go to college, and instead you can continue farming as the son. The lose condition is your son doesn't go to college and then you just continue farming.
Wait, why don't you die in the lose condition? You didn't work hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. So, some features of the farm game. You can grow many different types of crops, explore throughout the farm, forage for things like flowers and berries and stuff that you can sell. So if your crops don't work out, you still have some sort of steady source of income. So far, we're working on cows and chickens as our main animals. We might expand to like goats and like horses. Fish in the game. We have the market system, the sleep system, and the calendar system are all big features. The calendar system works where there's 60 real-world seconds is an hour in the game. And it just continues like that. So a day in the game is 24 minutes. And no one's really awake for 24 hours in the game anyway. So usually you're only up in the game for like 13 or 14 minutes a day, and then you sleep and go to the next day. So far, the things we have done, we have an alpha version of the environment. We're keeping with that with height maps and stuff. Unity's really weird with things like that. Calendar and clock system's all done. Sleeping, stamina. Every time you do an action, farming uses stamina. When you run out of stamina, you can't do any more actions in the day. But instead, you can eat some of your crops to get stamina back. So you lose money by not being able to sell your crops, but you get some more stamina to do more work if it's worth it to you. Inventory, we have different types of crops growing and working. The market system, buying and selling new plots of land, new tools, that kinds of things. Christian's getting the 3D models of tools done. Chicken AI, cow AI, picking up flowers and foraging different types of flowers and berries and things growing wild. Buildings. And then the weather, like it rains sometimes, and when it rains, you don't have to water your plants. But if it rains too often, you should buy a rain protector for your plants because they will flood, and then the plants will die. So there's a system for that. And then we have background music working in the game and sound effects to come soon. So things we have to do this semester: make our market system better, making the save system actually work. It's really hard to save in Unity, apparently, and we can't really figure out how to do that. 3D models, we need more of that. The sound effects, the sounds that makes when you plant crops or harvest crops, animations, balancing in terms of how much a crop is compared to how much you sell it for, things like that. We have to fix the environment, a tutorial for how to play the game, and then we have to make the plot evident, like cutscenes, all that kind of stuff, and then restructure our code because we wrote it pretty sloppy and we need to fix it. So here's some screenshots of the game. We would show you a playable build, but we tried making saving work and it kind of broke the game, so we're just showing screenshots for this presentation. So I know it's kind of hard to see. In the top left, we have our programmer art GUI of the calendar system. In the middle, we have the same deal with the inventory system, and then the money and stamina on the right. Here's our first version of a cow. So in this, you can see the plants. The seeds are in the first stage of planting, and the tomatoes are in their third stage. These tomatoes take 6 days to grow, I believe, and this is, like I said, the third stage, I believe. So they're not really ripe yet. They're not red. More have still yet to grow. This is the house. This is the first textured 3D model of a building we have done. So this is the house. As you can see, the terrain is very alpha. Like there's no textures or height map yet because we wiped our old terrain because it was using too many polys. So the sleep system is in the, oh, that's really dark. The sleep system is in the top of the screen. So if you run out of things to do in the day and you're just like, okay, it's time to sleep, you just say, okay, I want to sleep 6 hours, and then an alarm will wake you up in 6 hours, and then you can continue working. So this is a fully harvestable tomato. You can pick it from here, and then with the tomato, you can either sell it, eat it, and eventually we're hoping to come up with more options for you to use crops for different things. This is an untextured truck. This is how you're going to get to the market whenever you go. And you can see we're holding a watering can. It's a little dark on that screen. And yes, so that was our screenshots so far. Thank you to everyone. Questions, please. Yes?
Do you need testers? Because I'd love to break your game.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. We'll send the emails out. Yes?
Each day is 24 minutes. In 2 years, it's like, even if you sleep much of the time, it's like,
I don't know, I played Skyrim for like 300 hours. Alright, yeah, that's something to think about. Yeah, that's just what we have right now. We could always make it shorter.
Like, isn't that $100,000 pretty cheap for college?
Not when you're a farmer. And you, well, yeah, I mean,
2 years of college. So cheap. Great.
He's not going to RPI.
You get tons of
library charges I guess another question might be, how you make the game so you want to keep playing it. You know, like once you master all the different AIs,
right.
You master all the pathways through.
So who's played Cookie Clicker? Okay, that is the perfect game of a game that has no gameplay, but you like playing it because you can see yourself progressing. So, same way in this game, your farm's going to get bigger, you're going to be able to get more plots of land, you're like, oh my god, I can make like 200 tomatoes in a day. So that kind of mindset keeps the player wanting to go and keep making the farm bigger, keep growing, getting more income, things like that.
There's an idea for that too, because like increased playability is you can compete against other farmers, not necessarily real people, but just other
farmers.
AI farmers.
Okay. That's interesting.
Would you eventually be able to hire like NPCs?
Yeah, someone's noticed that like we don't have any human NPCs in the game, so that's definitely something we hope to get done. And as in the scope of the semester, it might be hard to do with all the other stuff, but that's definitely on the to-do list.
One more thing, just like as a final polish feature, you should add achievements.
Achievements
make everything.
That's true, absolutely.
it makes them very disgusting.
Yes, it's a depressing game, so yeah. Achievement unlocked. Anyone else? All right, well, thank you very much.